song might just break out into some lyrics, but it doesn't. Just making me verse noises. Ba ba da, beep ba ba da, meow meow. Oh, now there's space lasers. Oh snap! Cheese on the chair. Got it rubbing so it looked like it wasn't there. I usually in this chair at night. I know I shouldn't. I know it's not right, but oh snap! That cheese is so good, go down so easy. Pass through is like, pass me please. I want some of those cheese. Microphone check. Pretzel, get the heck out of here. We don't need you anymore. Hat Proof, testing Twitch, Mixer, and YouTube too. Oh. Also, I'm not facing the microphone while I'm talking for some reason. Ripley, turn this off. And I think I can just press this button now, Ripley. Right? Right? Oh, looks like it's working. Thanks, sweet angel. Let's go to the intro. Let's start this thing. You gonna start this thing? Oh, you look like you're ready to start this thing. There you go. Thanks.
Tell your friends, and tell your hot mom. There's no such thing as grownups.com.
Oh, Ripley. Did I mess it up? Did I mess it up? No, I did not. Hello! And welcome to No Such Thing as Grownups, the livestream.com. It's just, if you don't know, if you are new here, which you might be, and if you are new here, it might be because we met at the market and I was like, hey, I do a live stream where I force people to watch me draw things. So hello and welcome. If you met me in person, I'm not this glowing white. I swear. I know why. I learned stuff about TV. I used to work in TV. It's because I made everything red. So then the white balance is like, we gotta fix this. Let's white out this thing so we can focus on the red. And yeah, I don't know. I like the red background. What can I say? Maybe I'm working on a tiny little, well, not tiny, it's about this big, a little red couch for action figure version of Curtis that I will also get to working on one of these days so I can do the stop motion version of this. Yeah, always 1,000 projects on the go. Always. But yeah, mostly just a nice pregnant glow. Pregnant with wacky ideas about little cats and penguins, etc. What if we do this? What about me? Do you have any ideas about me? Why don't I have a comic strip? Where is Rachel Dawes' comic strip? Yeah, no, I don't know why I don't have any ideas for you, oddly enough. I feel like you're fairly widely covered already. But yeah, mostly within the daily Instagram comics. It's at No Such Thing as Grownups on Instagram. I believe that's the name on YouTube on Facebook as well. And other than that, we're here. And of course, there's a podcast which I told you I was going to export, get out the other half of what we recorded before, and I didn't. But do I have a couch almost made that's small, filled with wood and covered in fabric? Yeah, I do. That's a thing that happens. It seems like maybe you should prioritize some things. Like, hey, I gotta get out a podcast. I'll do that first. Check. And then the next thing on the list make a tiny couch for virtually no reason whatsoever, other than, hey, I got some extra little pieces of wood. I bet I can make a little couch with this before the end of the night. You think Friday, and then what is it? It's Tuesday now, almost Wednesday. Yeah, is it a couch yet? No, it's not. I mean, it's close. It's pretty close, but you and I both know we already figured out a better way to do what you're doing right now, and you're gonna undo a whole bunch of that stuff. Possibly at like 1 o'clock in the morning tonight. No, you're too lazy. You're too lazy. I mean, it's true. It's not wrong. I probably won't do anything, even though I was doing half of it like last night in the dark. Like, oh, I should go to bed. But what if I do this to make it a little more couchy? Like, yeah, just go to bed first. Just go to bed. Just go to bed. You don't need. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. Um, but anyway, that's a thing. When we gather here weekly on a Tuesday, and I'm like, I need to have accomplished something, not necessarily just to talk about here, but just for my own well-being, my own achievement meter that hovers somewhere. Maybe it goes this way, somewhere around here. There's an unseen progress bar, and part of that progress bar is like, all right, the weekend is like, that's 2 full days where you can do a thing, get a thing done that's not your regular work, or nothingness that goes off into the ether, or goes nowhere. I.e., hey, what did I accomplish this weekend? Did I do some more stream stuff or update the website like I've threatened myself to do? No. In my bedroom, there's like a mirror. It's a little bigger than this thing here. And then the lights that used to be back here, I was like, huh, I could definitely use some light in this corner of the room. And there's no plug adjacent, so let's take some of these battery-powered lights and put those here. Like, oh wow, over these past month or two, that these lights have been up here. Yeah, definitely need some lights over here. This is too perfect? Too perfect. Okay. But every so often I'm like, am I going blind? Am I going blind? I think I might be going blind. Oh no. And that's the batteries. That's when it's time to change the batteries, because batteries and a string of lights all the time is just not going to last. It's not fiscally responsible, honestly. Not fiscally responsible at all. Hard time saying fiscally? It's hard. It's hard to lisp fiscally without sounding physically. Oh, Sam Simmons. Was that? No, that was 8 out of 10 cats I was watching. That guy does entertain me whenever he shows up on the British shows, as a non-British Australian guy who hates all of the British people. Super funny. But yeah, the little mustache and hat. That's full Tom Selleck and Sam Simmons. And yeah, I just watched it as well, like 45 minutes ago. I was like, is this new? I don't think this is new. I think I already watched this one. I don't think I watched this one. This all seems pretty new. Did I watch this one? It says it's from 3 days ago, but I would have noticed. And, so a good halfway through. Oh, yeah. I don't even, like, that guy, I do, like, there's a few things that guy does that I'm like, he's pretty funny. He's actually pretty funny. Deep down, he's got some humor in there. But it's a little too carrot toppy. Like, most of it is like carrot toppy. But he gets me. He'll get me every once in a while. I'm like, that was a good one. That was kind of funny. But the thing about the shoulder pads is it's not mostly shoulder pads, is what I realized in one of the episodes. I'm like, what? What's going on? So, like, I think he has, like, an actually fairly oddly shaped body. And then I think he accentuates that for some reason. But yeah, he wicked makes me uncomfortable. I don't know what's going. I don't know what those numbers are. I have no idea what those numbers are. Shippies. Nice IP. What does that mean? What does that mean? Is that my IP? Are you threatening me right now? Are you saying this is your IP and I'm going to steal it and use it? Or are you saying people should go visit that IP? What does this mean? What are you doing? What are you doing, shippies? What are you doing? Just explain it to me. Explain to me why this is happening right now. And then we get to some drawings. And then we'll get to some drawings. Anything, shippies? Anything? Anything? What are you doing? I'm old and I don't understand things. Why is it a nice IP? Yeah, banned it is. Spamming. I guess I should put up rules one of these days on the Twitch things, but yeah, don't spam. Don't spam with nonsense. Nonsense is awesome, but yeah, at least if you're gonna be a jerk, make it fun. Make it fun for the both of us. You know, if you want to have a fight, we could totally have a fight, but don't just be one of these people that there's nothing I can't stand more than getting in, like, you know, as we discussed, like getting into an altercation with a drunk person who's like, I don't know, I'm just saying words until I win. And it's like, say words that matter to you to make your win, you know, matter to you, instead of just getting louder or just repeatedly saying things. And there's nothing I can't stand more than usually like witnessing a fight or an argument where somebody's trying to make their case and the other person is just doing that thing where they're just like, I don't know, it seems like something Milo would do, but it's like, hey, a good argument would be, wait, I don't do that. I don't do that at all, and I never do that, and you're stupid, and I don't do that. No, but a good argument would be explaining, you know, what you're going to do, but you don't. No, I always explain everything, and I don't do that thing. You know, I'm always right, and you're always wrong. My stubble is wisdom, and if I shave it, I will get stupider. But I'm just the smartest guy, and I know all the things. And I know all the things? Yeah, no, you can say you know all the things, but do you know all the things? And the thing is, like, nobody does. Like, nobody does. So you can't just keep saying nonsense and then expect it to start making sense. But, you know, as we all know, apparently you can. I mean, you know, if you're the leader of America, you can just keep saying nonsense until it becomes real. So I don't know, maybe the Matrix is right. Maybe the Matrix is right. Maybe this is, like, we do all just project what we believe hard enough, and then it works. I mean, it's the only way to explain that. I mean, it's like it's okay. One quick analogy, metaphor, and then we'll get back to talking about normal things. It's like if you like went into a room full of people and you were like, hey, Steven, I want to make up a super fake name here, but my fake name is, like, I know it's a real name, and I gotta stop saying it. But like, hey, Steve Stevington, there we go. I'm gonna shoot you now. Hi, everybody. Bang. And I shoot Steve Stevington dead in front of everybody. And I'm like, hey, guys, I just shot Steve Stevington. And I kind of did it really good. Like, I'm actually really good at this. And I don't even care. Anyway, what are we going to do about this? And everybody's like, all right, well, that's definitely not legal, right? Like, you can't just go and shoot Steve Stevington in front of us. So we're gonna have a trial. We're gonna get to the bottom of this. And then everybody's like, hey, instead of, actually bringing up the fact that we just saw this happen and he just said that he did it and his lawyer said that he did it and everybody's saying that he just did that, and he's like, hi, fingerprints still all over the gun residue all over my hands. Totally did it. Anyway, here's what you guys are going to do now. You're all going to vote on whether or not I shot Steve Stevington. And somebody's like, yeah, but you shot Steve. You're going to vote. Everybody gets a vote of whether or not you think that I shot Steve Stevington. And this isn't no 60-40 pass-fail type of thing. This is 50-50 right down the middle, one over the line, and I win. Anyway, let's all take a vote on whether or not you think that I killed that guy in front of everyone, and you want to accuse me of it. Let's just do that right now. And then, just like in the Dark Knight, and just like a Lucius Fox or whatever, like, are you really going to accuse a guy that dresses like a bat and breaks people's legs? You're going to accuse him of being him, like, and you think that's going to work out great for you? And then everybody was like, good point. Let's just vote. And I mean, it was like what, like 3 points over or something. And then it's like, so anyway, now I'm going to go exact revenge on all the people who voted against me, while the news and people on the news are like, well, maybe he learned his lesson this time. Why? What lesson? What lesson? Has nobody ever been around children or other adults or just humans in general and not know that once you set precedent that they can get away with stuff, then they just get away with stuff? I mean, I let this cat, he ran a whole cloning thing. There was a massacre. Because every time he does something crazy, I'm like, you lovable scamp. And then off he goes and turns famous people into a human centipede. So yeah, the world's a weird place and everything's crazy. We're gonna do another comic stripping today. I wrote this the other day, and honestly, I'm not sure if I'm stealing this from myself or stealing it from somewhere else, or it just seems so obvious of a joke to me that I'm like, somebody must have done this before, right? Somebody must have. So today I'm thinking we're gonna have Milo and Major Penguin on the couch watching some TV, and then I come in and I'm like, whoa, and they're like, duh, and I'm like, oh, and they're like, wah, wah, and that's the joke. But we'll get into that in a bit. First, I'll do some doodling, and then pen, and then we'll. So let me see who's talking where. There we go. Hide. And find my layers. Do a little bit of roughing. But meanwhile, in the world of stories about me, what stories do I have today? I really got to put my hoodie coat rack in here and then change my hoodie every stream. One, to Mr. Rogers it up, and two, because it gets so hot in here after these lights are on for 5 minutes. I actually left the window open this time. Man, oh man. So, what do you even look like now? Still haven't watched any of the Mr. Rogers movies. I should do that one of these weekends. A little Mr. Rogers fest. Now you look like a chicken. Come on now. There we go. What kind of mouth does he have? Go back. The dotty eyes. Give him a little shirt. So this is actually from last week, but I forgot. And then I saw this guy again, and I was like, oh yeah! People saying stuff. And / another 9 people did it. Pretty much every time I go to the market to sell stuff. The last few times I haven't sold one thing at all. Just hanging out there and occasionally giving away stickers to people who are like, hey, you just earned yourself a sticker. But everybody comments on the Alf picture. It's like from my Instagram, from my sketchbook. It's just a little Alf doodle. He looks a little bit weird. Mostly he looks exactly like how Alf should in his Melmacian Hawaiian shirt that he wears in the cartoon that I honestly never really saw. But everybody, like, oh my god, like, that's Alf, like, telling their kids, that's Alf, like, you know how when your kid comes up to you and is like, oh my god, mom, you have to see, oh my god, mom, like, this spider is so big, like, Zelda has to fight this giant spider, and I'm Zelda. Actually, I'm Link. Zelda is the princess. You don't even know that yet, mom. Let me explain it all to you. And then the mom was like, what do I care? What do I care? And then what I can only assume is those same moms and dads like, hey, look, like, this is a picture, like a sketch by some strange man at a farmer's market of a puppet from my childhood, huh? And the kids are like, okay. Now what do I do with this information, mother? Um, and then, usually me and the parent for a minute is like, woo, old timey stuff. And occasionally, the kids are like, oh no, I love this. It's on Amazon, it's on whatever. The lady this week told me, like, oh my god, like, do you have a Roku? Like, I do have a Roku. Well, if you go to Roku TV, there's a Roku TV? I don't know anything. Um, she's like, yeah, they're all there, like every episode. And I think she told me the number of episodes where I'm like, all right, cool. You did not peg me, or I did not peg you as all. I did not at all peg you, there we go, as a TV nerd in any way, shape, or form, lady. But she's like, yeah, like every episode is there. But I'm like, also like, last time I did have cable and Alpha was on all the time. I watched them all. Oh, I watched them all. Yeah, I heard that pass. I heard that. How it came out. Syntax is fun on a Tuesday. Yeah, that's good. And coach. So, that's not the story. That's not the story at all, or the anecdote, or the rambling. Today's rambling. That was just an example of how every week somebody points at that and is like, Alf, I love it. Yeah, it's for money. You can take it home with you. Nope, still nobody. I've had this like longer than any of the things, but whatever. Gets people talking, and that's really my jam. Don't know why I'm bothering with that. It's just rough. So let's take this. Today there is a Power Rod Day in the fridge that I was gonna bring, but today it's brought to you by. Earlier I had Subway, and then I got some like pressed juice from the grocery store. Can't remember what the name of it is now, and that's in here. So last week, to the what am I doing? This is just for reference. So we're gonna grab these. We're gonna have some consistency for once. What are you doing? There we go. So back up to this layer. Oh, whatever. I don't know. It's like vegetable something or other fresh, you know, not from concentrate. It wasn't just sugar juice. It's like a smoothie. It's more of a smoothie drink, I guess. Text. So, guy comes up to the table, and he's come up to the table a few times before. I've seen him around town, and he was like, same deal, like, Alf, oh my god, Alf, blah, 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 Alf. Like, yeah, like, do you have a cat or whatever, or something about cats? Like, yeah, Alf and cats, am I right? Like, yeah, he supposedly ate cats. I don't know. Feel like they phased that out after a while. But yeah, that was his thing. Melmacians eat cats. Blah blah blah. Alf. So he says a bunch of Alfie things. Keeps going back to the cat thing. Like, all right. So a little bit later, I go to get something to eat at one of the other market stands, and let's twist his head back a little more. Oh yeah, I definitely have more of Who's the Boss memorized than I do Alf. I've absolutely watched Who's the Boss 1,000 times more than Alf episodes. But they're still pretty solid in there, a good chunk of them. And so yeah, I go in and he's like, "Oh hey, I was thinking about our friend there, like, who, what, what? What are we talking about, guy?" It was like our friend was like my neighbor. It was just this morning actually. I guess their cat died. So that they were burying it, like they were burying their cat, like, mm-hmm. So like, huh? Like, can you imagine? Like Alf, huh? With that, like, huh? Like, what if Alf had a had been over here, huh? Huh? And I mean, I'm being somewhat repetitive right now, but this was a good, you know, maybe a full minute of just that part where it's just like, huh? Because he ate the cat, so I mean, like he'd be digging it up, or he'd be there, like people like, could I have that kind? Like, but he wasn't quite. It was just like this is uncomfortable. I have food I'm about to eat, and you're telling me about a cat corpse, and a Muppet that would want to eat it. When's this check day coming where you say you're gonna have check day money and you're gonna buy this Alf thing every few weeks? Never? Alright, that's fine. Anyway, yeah. Yeah, it's sad about your neighbor's cat. Right? Okay. Gonna go eat this pretzel now. Avocado shakes. I could totally read. I could totally read all the things on the screen all the time. I mean, it's right there. It's right there. I could look at it. I mean, I'm looking a little off from it right now, but wherever I look, I can still see the screen is over there off screen, and then I'm on the screen. Either way, you're a weirdo. You're a weirdo, and avocados, don't even get me started. I don't even understand those things. Guacamole, I can puke a story about guacamole all day long because it's gross. It's just gross. That's crazy. Anyway, you're the crazy one. What were we talking about? Nothing. Nothing. So that was that bit of fun at the market. I feel like I definitely had some other markety thing that I meant to remember. But I do not. Other than, oh, well, I don't know. Is this funny? Let's put this to a vote. Let's put this to an emote, if we will. I'll say a thing, and we'll see if it gets Laffy Milo emote faces. We set up our table, we got set up in an area where it was like it's normally two different people. So Nelly had a whole big fancy shelf, and I had a whole big fancy bookshelf thing to set our stuff up on. And I feel like it was fairly right away. It was pretty quickly early on. I mean, it's winter time, so not as many people are coming through the market. A lot of the vendors aren't there, so it's like, hey, you guys get tables all the time now. Whenever you ask for it, because a lot of people are off and doing their winter vacationing and whatnot. So it's just a little bit slower. Which is also kind of fine because I like to just like, hey, I can just sit here and draw, and occasionally I'll have a conversation with some of the market people. Um, so uh, where we were at this point, like some of the tables, some of the sections, they're kind of like these are for members, so this is their spot all the time. Like they have stuff locked away in there, cabinets and whatever, so they can just set up when they get there, or they just leave it there all the time. So we're at one of those spots, and this particular spot, this lady, she had a few things going on. One of which was like wool. She has like a farm and stuff, so it's all like fresh, real, like straight from the sheep wool. She dyes it. She does all the things. Great wool. As far as I know, as far as I'm told, Nelly does a lot of like felting and praises this wool beyond praisability. I believe it's called Woolies, or her thing is called Woolies. I don't know how to spell that. Woolies, I would say, or Woolys because it's her Woolies. I don't know. It's Woolies. Woolly owns this. The sign that's there is for meat. She also does meats. I had no idea. I had no idea until some lady comes up to the counter to where we are. And in this case, normally we're behind tables, and in this time, since it's all shelves, I'm just sitting in front of it, like, hi, don't touch me. Look at the thing. Walk past me and look at the things that I have for sale. Don't just glare at me and go like I do when I walk past the wool lady and the carving guy or whatever the other table was. Get over here and pick up these books. Don't just be shocked by them. So lady comes up and let's say I'm taking over Rose's spot. I know it's an R name, Ruth. I think it's Ruth. Anyway, she's like, like Ruth left me. Supposed to be leaving me like 2 pounds of lamb chops or whatever, or ground lamb, and I'm like, I've got dinosaur books. I was drawing dinosaurs heads on like people bodies. Alf. There's an Alf up there. There's a Prince Adam. I ain't got no ground meat. I got no ground meat. She was like, no, like yeah, like she left some ground meat. Like, okay, I don't know what to do with this. I'm very tempted to just be like, go away now. Like, there's nothing I can do for you here. But instead, I'm like, well, there is a freezer here. Like, maybe she did. I don't know how this works. You seem to know what's going on. So I open up this freezer and I'm like, oh, hey, there's a bunch of meat in this freezer. But I'm like, I don't know. It looks like mostly chicken from here. Looks like mostly chicken. But I don't know. I'm not as lazy as I let on. I dig through the little bits of meats. I don't know what ground lamb looks like, but I know what ground meat looks like. I'm like, all right, cool. This looks like something. And there's sure enough 2 packages of ground lamb. And I don't know. As far as I know, it's for this lady. And this lady isn't like, I only get it from Ruth. I know Ruth this, Ruth that. Like, I'm just a person at the farmer's market. I don't work for her. I don't know her. I think I might have talked to her once or twice. I don't know. I don't know. But anyway, she has no problem. I'm just like, all right, like trick or treat. Like, yep, here's a bunch of lamb. And she gives us the money. Nellie takes the money, gives it to Margaret, the lady who runs the whole market. And she's like, all right. I guess, like, I believe the report of the money exchange was kind of that's kind of weird, but yeah, I'll make sure Ruth gets her money. And then I had to stop and think, because we, had some sort of conversation about, like, I think Nellie said, like, no, like, I'll never, I'm never going to eat lamb. Like, no way, I'm not eating lamb. I was like, oh, yeah. I was like, I don't know if I've had lamb now that I think about it. Like, lamb chops? Lamb chops? Yeah, I think I only hear the word lamb chops from TV. I don't think it's ever been a thing in my real life. Lamb? Definitely not ground lamb. Like, I think I've only had, like, deer and, excuse me. Like pork chops and then regular beef, mostly beef. Pretty much just beef. And then, of course, some fake meats. But anyway, I'm like, blah, 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 lamb. Wait a second. Is lamb? Lamb just means baby sheep, right? Or is lamb just another word for sheep? And Nellie was like, no, lamb means baby sheep. And I'm like, ah. Feel real weird about giving that lady 2 pounds or 4 pounds of ground up baby sheep meat now. And, was like, hey, it's great, I mean, she has the wool. I never thought about the fact that, like, oh, maybe it's a full-blown farm. So it's like, yeah, we get the wool, we get the wool, we get the wool, and then we eat them. And then we chop them up and we eat them. I'm like, oh, man. But that's what they always say, baby meats are always the best or most delicious meats. Tender or something like that. So then time passes. And another lady shows up. Like, Ruth's supposed to leave me, 2 packages of eggs. I got dinosaurs. I got poetry. I got a book of poetry. It's got poems in it. Some drawings. Did I mention Alf? Prince Adam? Some t-shirts. I had some t-shirts made. Got like a Jeff Goldblum dinosaur on there. No, eggs. Two things of eggs. She's supposed to leave them. Like, yeah, I don't work for her. I don't know who that is. We just have the area. We're just in this area. This isn't a store, and we're not taking over the store for her. We're just in this area. And that's the other thing too, is just like, I don't think we have the jurisdiction to just be selling the stuff from this freezer, she probably appreciates it. But again, I don't know. It just helps me realize that how much I'm not selling because I'm busy selling somebody else's stuff. Regardless, there's no eggs here. There's no eggs here. No. She left some eggs. Did she? Did she? It was like, well, there's a freezer. She's like, well, they wouldn't be in the freezer. Like, yeah. That's what I'm saying. All that's here is a freezer, and that's it. So yeah, one lady, I want to say, she kind of didn't want to take no for an answer. But yeah, we were just like, no, like we're not doing this anymore. We're not doing this anymore. So text. F it. Reuse. And then just flip that around. And then we'll change it. And then we'll just change it when we clean it up. No. Come on now. So I want to say like one or two more people came by to get some eggs, and we were like, no, we have no eggs today. All right, I'm going to rearrange the text. So this week's joke here is, all right, let's go in. Major Penguin is all like, a fine twist indeed. And then Milo's like, I totally didn't realize he was actually dead the whole time. And then, let's move these around. And I'm like, how do you not know how the Sixth Sense ends? And Milo's like, the Sixth who? And then, let's move these. I'm like, Bruce Willis. And he's like, Jonathan Silverman. There we go. And let's scrunch this up slightly. It's the right place. And then I'm like, who? To Jonathan Silverman. And then Milo's like, have you not seen the Weekend at Bernie's movies? We just watched one and two. And that's the joke. That's the whole joke. Bernie was dead the whole time, which is wildly obvious, and nobody should not get that that's what happened. But he's a cat. But he's a stupid cat. Excuse me, between you and avocado shakes, my self-esteem is plummeting, swirling around toilet bowls over here. I mean, come on now. I'm in the room. You didn't even like Major Penguin isn't the foil. He's not the doof in this particular comic. How did that even happen? You hate that guy. I'm practically the least second favorite. At least second favorite. Meow. Yes, we all know you're number one favorite, Ripley. Everybody knows that, and we're all sick and tired of it. Do I place on the list anywhere? Tell me what the list is. Everybody shut up, okay? Everybody calm down. Sometimes you give your characters a chance. So, like I said, I'll change up their faces and whatnot as we clean. And let's do some cleaning. And you'll see what I mean. Come on now. That's what I'm doing wrong. You go up there. You go down here. Then black line. Everybody simmer. This is not some sort of clown court. It's a place of order. Order, all of you. Order. In the court. Alright, so I definitely had some railing to do about something in the real world that I didn't write down. Before I started, I was like, there's no way I'm forgetting that. That's too much of a crazy big thing in my week. If I forgot, then it would be impossible to forget it. Got to write everything down. So, in its place, a few little anecdotes, judgments, if you will, of myself versus a small child. Oh, man. So, we're at the market, we're selling stuff. Nelly has a small child, and he was there. So sometimes he's there for a while, and then he'll go to the library and do little kid library stuff. Or Nelly's mom will come, the kid's grandma, and they'll go off and have, whatever, those type of family adventures until market is over. And I don't have the ability. I would love to. I have, 1,000 examples that are flooding my head that I would love to rail on and rant about on this show, but I can't because I can't. So those people, you might be one of those people watching right now. But no, that thing that children do where it's just like kind of what I was saying before, like, hey, like, can I explain to you what the difference between Zelda and Link and what an ocarina is? Like, the answer is no. No, you're a small child and I don't want to hear this. But any person or child, I don't have the ability to be like, no, I don't care. Deal with your own stuff. I'm a weird empathic robot, and I absorb everybody's just feelings and thoughts and all the things. I absorb them all, whether I want to or not, and I don't know how to, after a while, I'll be like, all right, that's cool. I've gotten enough information. Please stop. But especially, as a person who is just like, hey, I'm going to talk for an hour now, deal with it. It makes it extra hard for me to be like, I can't deal with this. Please stop talking now. So, hilariously, the kid is playing a phone game, a mobile app, and it's one of those. One of those. It's got to be the only one, but I'm sure there's more than one. One of those like destroy the world games where you're trying to infect the whole world with some sort of either plague or disease or locust or whatever. I'm not sure how many different ways you can do it, but you pick a part of the world, you start there, and you try to destroy the world before the rest of the world figures it out. What is going on, and finds a cure, etc. So he's loving it, whatever. Like, wow, you might turn out to be an evil genius, but you're just too nice of a kid to ever do that. So I'm not worried about him taking over the world, but I'm always kind of a little bit worried about every child taking over the world. For a while it was like, hey, that guy's not going to become president though. That's crazy. And then it's just like, oh, it's just crazy enough to work. That's a thing. That's not just an 80s movie and TV trope. Oh, cool. Sometimes things are just crazy enough to work. So anyway, he's playing the game, and literally he can't not report everything that he's doing as it happens. Even when he's like playing Nintendo right in front of us, and we're like having art club, and there's like 3 or 4 of us there, and then he's just like, "Can I play Nintendo?" And like, yeah, play Nintendo, and he's playing Nintendo. It's just like, "Mom, like look at this. Mom, look at this." And then eventually she's like, I'm doing my thing. I'm hanging out with my friends. They're not here to hang out with you. And it's like, hey, Margot, Curtis, like, look at this. And for the first time, I was like, yeah, show me. Awesome. Like, I played, I can't wait till I get this game. And now I have this game, and I'm way ahead of where this kid is. Mario U is kind of the, like, after Mario Maker, Mario U is so good. Can't get enough of it. So so he's like telling his mom like every update or everything that's happening and that he's doing in this game. And in my head, I'm pretty sure that it's like this game is mostly just like here's what happened and charts and graphs. Um, and regardless, he keeps just updating. And you know, it's like, well, I only hear this on like Saturday at the market, and not even all the time. So it's like, wow, like I don't envy moms at all because this is all the time. Like this is, you know, most kids, you know, everything is new to them. Everything is like, oh my god, like this is amazing. Like, did I not tell you this amazing discovery? The amount of things that can happen inside this little phone, mom. Like, did you not know? Like, yes, I know. I know. So after a while, she was like, all right, okay, like, you know, we're doing market stuff here now, and that's fine. Like, you just play your game. I think I'm all up to date now. But either way, I don't need any more updates. So just play your game and don't tell me any more about it. Yeah, cause don't need it. And so then 2 seconds later, I can't remember what it was, but it was like, oh mom, but I have to tell you this other thing. But it's not an update about this. It's like, and in his head, it's like it's just different enough from what she said not to do that it's like this still isn't against the rules you just said. Even though it was like, no, like the actual gist of the rules is please stop talking. So I can concentrate and just make art and talk to people who are trying to buy things. So he was like, okay, yeah. Like again, super great kid, not confrontational, not fighty, and really smart. So it's like, you know, this isn't going to be a crazy issue, but timing wise, just hilarious. Rule has been set. Like, all right, that's enough telling me about this. Like, okay, he doesn't immediately go to me. It's just like he sits there and is playing his game. So Nellie's like, all right, I gotta go get some water or whatever for my paint to do some painting. Like, you know, she's gonna get up and walk away for maybe 3 minutes. Like, whatever. She gets up, like, I'll be back in 3 minutes doing this. Like, okay. As like I don't even know how to show the timing, but it's like um most of those figures are stuck down. So it's like I need an extra thing. Okay, I'm me. And like Nellie's here, Kid is there. And he's got his head down, he's playing his game. She gets up, like, all right, I'll be right back. Kid, walks straight over to me. Like, she does, like, almost like snowbirds or whatever, like flying jet plane acrobatic type show. Just like, oh, the timing was magical. And I'm like, inside, I'm laughing so hard. She looks back at me, just like, and looks at him. He's already oblivious. Like, you are gone. You left the room. Like, I am so close right now. And she just turns and he's just immediately like, Curtis, like, let me show you this. Right up to me as if she'd gone, like, just disappeared from everywhere and all the rules are gone. She looks back at me like, really? And I look back at her like, obviously. And then, you know, we laugh and he doesn't realize because he's just fully in like, oh, I just need to show somebody this thing. Like, look at this. I'm like, all right, cool. I don't have the ability to be like, same rule applies. I'm filling a sketchbook page over here and I don't care. I already failed at making mobile games. Now I'm doing this thing. Stop showing me all the things that beat me when I had a mobile game company. Um, so anyway, super interesting stuff. The things he was saying was again like just amazing because it's like, all right, well, Sweden is starting to work on a cure. They've discovered it's airborne now, so I'm gonna try and mutate it some more. So by the time they do find a cure, it's too late. It has changed, and I'm just like, all right, like yeah, this is crazy. He's like, oh my god. He's like, they almost found a cure. Like, yeah, but I thought you just said you already like 98% destroyed the world. Like, the world is 98% infected. And he's like, yeah, but you never know. Like, no, I think if you made it to 98%, like that's it. Only a handful of people are going to survive, even if you cure everybody or get a cure right now. So then his mom came back and immediately like, whoop, just sat back down as if the whole thing never happened. Like that was amazing. Um, yeah, the only other kid that was like with no association was there was this other like yeah offensive. Actually, Milo, it was the Children of the Cord child. He was the child that looked like he belonged to the Children of the Cord, and he was staring like he was a Children of the Cord. Now, I didn't say that. That was that thing over there. I don't control what he says. So this Children of the Corn, as you call him, kid, just like all of a sudden I could just feel myself, and I think we talked about this before. Anyways, just steering a hole from two, across the hall, just like I'm sure he's just looking at the pictures that I have, but I'm pretty sure my soul is on fire. Yeah, my soul is on fire, and he won't stop staring. And oh my god. So so anyway, I can't remember how, but out of nowhere it seemed, or maybe he just got bored, or he wanted money. But the 10-year-old little child, he made his own perler bead things. Like they're like the little plastic beads. You arrange them in a picture, and you like iron them or heat them or whatever, and then they become these solid little keychainy things and stuff, and they're awesome. At some point, he has completely forgotten that his mom has made most of them, and he's convinced that he made them himself, even though he was mostly playing Nintendo, from what I hear. Or not Nintendo, but just like mostly not making these things, or making one for every like 10 that she makes. So he was like, "All right, make me a new sign that says, whatever it is, like one for $3 or something like that, two for five, whatever it was. It's a pretty good deal." And I'm like, yeah, yeah, he's got good deals. He's got some stuff, and he's a cute little kid. So he sits there, and every single time he does this, he just starts selling stuff. I'm like, your bin is like almost empty. Like, oh yeah, like I sold a bunch of stuff last week. Like, what? Yeah, a bunch of politicians came in, and he was the little kid selling stuff, so like getting pictures, buying things from him, like, like, all right. So this time, uh, he's there. He gets his thing out immediately. Like as soon as he gets it out, like, ooh, what's going on over here? And I'm like, are you kidding me? Like he just pulled out his gear to sell, and he's already selling stuff. Like this is offensive. So then, same deal. He's still just talking and talking and talking and talking. Mostly about like basically how great business is going for him, while the two of us are like, we actually pay for these tables, and you're just over there getting candy money and candy. Um, so then, yeah, right across from us was an empty table, which there never is. But like I said, it's winter time, so there's like a few empty tables, a few extra sitting to eat areas. Um, so Nellie's like, why don't you just go sit over at that table? Like, you could have your own table right there, and you'll probably do great. And he's like, all right, cool. So he does. Nobody stops him. Nobody makes him pay for the table. Uh, and everybody stops at it. Like, like I said, I didn't sell anything, and he sold a good handful. So either way, even with one sale, he still sold twice as much as I did. Ouch! And yeah, you end up jealous of a 10-year-old. That's what the market's all about. But yeah, I don't know. It was amazing, just like watching like the people stop by. Like, oh, nobody even looked around. Like, is there an adult here that's running this? Like, you're just a random child in the middle of this thing. And like, yep, they give him some money. Excuse me. He got a commission. He got a commission. He got a commission. Oh, you don't quite have what I'm looking for. Can I commission something from you, young man? I don't know what that word is, but yes. Also, mother, please make me a commissions available sign, and I'll make some commissions for people that they can order now, and I'll do for next week's market. All right. All right, 10-year-old. You win this round. You win this round. Am I competing with a 10-year-old? No, not at all. Just an observation of how the Saturday went. So that's, that's a good chunk of my day doing that. And then I went and got some random art supplies and ate some food. Tried to avoid people that maybe live in this building. And it's a great idea. It definitely works. Like that's why they had to outlaw child labor, because it works so well. It works really well a lot of the time. So I don't know, just to make fun of this kid for another few minutes. Oh man. Yeah, if I could just have like a nice old mom just like, "Oh, look at what my son made. Why won't you buy some of his stuff?" That would definitely work. Tim, do you watch this? Oops. Put together an old lady outfit and come help me sell stuff. Pretend to be some old lady mom for me. But speaking of Nintendo, um, so he's got a Wii U now too, and he was playing Mario Maker. So we go over there for art club, and he's like, "Oh, like Curtis, like, can I show you my levels?" Like, yeah, show me your levels. But I never play Nintendo with him, cause I'm a monster. Like, but no, because I'm there to draw pictures, and also I've watched him play Nintendo, and realized that would make me crazy. Like that would make me crazy. I'm not a Nintendo wizard by any means, but man oh man, he he's not he's absolutely not a kid that's just like, this level's too hard and frustrating, like throwing the controller, desperately trying to complete levels or anything. He's just playing. Like if anything, he's played level 1 I don't know, between 1 and 3 a billion times. Like every time I'm there, I'm just like, how are you still on this level? Like, I don't know, he's gotten further. He just keeps coming back to these levels. Like, what? And then he'll go through like, check it out. Like, Curtis, check it out. Curtis, look at this. Check out this secret. Mom, look at this secret. Oh my god, check out this secret that I found. And again, not to be a jerk, but I am a bit of a jerk. They're totally not secrets. Like, they're the least secretive Mario things in the history of Mario. I'm just like, I grew up on Mario 3, where you had to duck down on a white block that was, 3/4 of the way through the level, then go in behind everything and get a warp whistle. Do you even understand warp whistle? No, you don't. You're from a different generation, kid. So he's showing me his levels, and I'm just like, oh, these are actually pretty crazy levels. Like he thinks, thinks out a bunch of stuff. Like there's definitely a narrative that goes with each of his levels, but I'm just like, these are insane. Oh my god, how is anyone? I was like, oh, it's over. So shortest levels ever. But usually one little thing that's like, wow, like yeah, this is great. Like trying to make a whole conveyor belt system that does a thing and do, and like this is where you get a pile of free men. Like, what do you need free men for? Who cares about free men in Mario Maker? But then there was a bunch of things where I'm like, oh, I did not know you could play Mario Maker like this, and he's asking me questions, and I'm just like, oh yeah, this thing, that thing. So he didn't know about the cat sound effect action that comes on the screen. So he spent a good chunk of time trying to figure out where that was. When I told him that was a thing. That should sync that back up. So then I'm like, oh, like you could try my levels, like based on what he was doing and playing. I'm like, he could definitely handle my levels. Like they're not that crazy. Like I didn't specifically design them to be impossible. They're still meant to be something that I enjoy and is fun, but still a little bit difficult, and just enough that it's like hopefully trying to make Space Goonie have to take 5 or 6 tries to complete a level. But so far she's still like, oh, did it in 2 or 3. Like, not supposed to be that easy. So I'm like, yeah, like load up one of my levels. I'd love to see how a small child handles these. So there's the level called Too Bouncy that is just purely about, it's not, it's still a fun level, I think. Oh, I can't. You know what I meant to do was try that weird little slidey glove thing that comes with these tablets, because I've just never used it. I'm always, but I will often get my sleeve down and let that slide. It's right over there, but if I move everything, it might reset. So anyway, I'm like, oh yeah, he can totally handle some of these levels. They're not as crazy as his, actually. But I'm also like, the bouncy level, like technically there's a bunch of parts. If you just kind of walk through it, you'll just go to the end. It's not actually that hard. So he didn't even make it to the hard part. Like he was like on the second screen in, and I'm just like, oh my god, like how is he still here? I was like, oh yeah, he's been on level 3 of the regular game for 6 months. But like I said, he's not a frustrated, like this is impossible. Like even there's one part where it's just like it's just too many springs and you just bounce around, and if you just try to force your way through, you eventually go through. And sometimes it's just like and it shoots you right out without any real effort at all. But sometimes if you jump around, you hit up, you pump out more springs, and then it just gets a lot more bouncier and crazier. But I think it's more or less just fun and silly, and it was great. Just like when I make an animation or film and anything and see other people watch it, it's just like, oh wow, like this is what it's like to be inside someone else's head, judging the thing that I made. Like it's pretty interesting sometimes. So it was awesome because it was like this is what I wanted. I didn't want somebody to be like, it's too many springs. I wanted to be like, oh, this is too many springs. Anyway, let's try to get through this. And that's the way he was. I'm like, this is amazing. Meanwhile, his mom doesn't, play Mario Maker, Mario games. So she's just watching him play, and she's just like, "Oh my god, like this is what gives me anxiety. Like you guys and all your anxiety problems, I don't have those. You're all crazy, but this this is like destroying me. Like watching my child try so hard to just get from point A to point B and just get bounced around, and also the cat paw sound effects with a cat paw speed thing blasting in and hitting him. Hilarious. I'm loving it. I'm butt up of a McLovin' it. But yeah, I didn't even realize till like I went home. Where I'm like, oh yeah, there's still so much more of that level to get to. Like he just barely made it to the first section, and he's like, oh, like there should be checkpoints. Like there is. You haven't made it past the third screen. You haven't gone anywhere yet. Like the start is right over there. Oh, hilarious. Oh, and the guy that the police were gonna have something to eat first or whatever I thought they were saying, and then come back and arrest him. He's still there, so I don't know. I know I watched something I wanted to talk about. Yet again, should have made notes. Excuse me. Well, one thing that I learned from the TV, I learned was a TV show. So on all these British shows that I watch, 8 out of 10 Cats does Countdown, 8 out of 10 Cats, Would I Lie to You, and QI seem to all at some point or another mention a British show called Naked Attraction, which I don't know what I pictured the show to be. I guess I pictured like there's definitely been like uh, American versions of that same type of thing, or a Naked and Afraid type of situation where it's like, yeah, we're gonna take these naked people, we're gonna put them in this situation, and then they have like a naked date or something. Like I don't know, but I assumed it was just that. Like these two strangers, we pair them up in however we feel like pairing them up, and then they're like, hey, we're naked, and like I said, there's definitely been that Naked and Afraid version of a show somewhere that maybe I've seen, but I don't know, maybe not. So on one of the British shows, can't remember which one it was. It must have been 8 out of 10 Cats because they were showing clips. Um, so the lady that hosts this Naked Attraction show was on there, and they're like blah 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 Naked Attraction, and they're like, well, your show is like this, your show is like that, comparing it to Game of Thrones, and how Game of Thrones has like a certain amount of nudity and a certain amount of that, and they had to add more wieners because there was not enough wieners and too many boobs. Then people were like, now there's too many wieners, not enough boobs, and then blah 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 blah. HBO was weird. So anyway, they kind of talk about that, and then they were talking about how the show is set up, what the guys like, what the girls like, as far as presentation and how they're presented and whatever. And it's just like, what are you talking about? And then they show a clip. They show a clip, and then they talk about it some more. And I was like, oh, that's what it is. British TV can do anything, basically. Like, it's kind of like how TV was when we were kids, when I was a kid, where it was just like up until like 5, 6 o'clock, you know, everything is super wholesome, blah blah blah, and then like after 9, then it's like, who knows, anything can be on after 9 because that's adult nighttime. And now, everywhere you go, everybody's watching the say the Mickey Mouse Club and Hose Hounds, whatever. That actually was one before, but whatever, the Paw Patrol, until 10, 11 at night. Kids just control the TVs now, and that's insane to me as well. But in Britain, Europe, wherever, they do the same thing, where it is like at like 8 o'clock at night, then it's just like, get your kids away from the TV because anything goes now. So what this show seems to be, I don't know if it was just how they were showing it, or if people were actually stacked up, or if it was just a split screening, but it showed a woman picking a man in this particular situation. Then they described the other way, so obviously it's the same except a little different. So in the man's, or in the man being picked by a woman situation, a woman is there with the host, and they're like, all right, so, you know, what are you thinking? What are you thinking? And like a Deal or No Deal, except there's just a bunch of like 6-foot tall boxes, and maybe there was like 6 or 9. It seemed like they were stacked up. I can't quite remember. And I'm not sure. I don't think it showed the guy's chest. I think they open up sections as they go, and so as you pick, you're like, I'll base this on this amount. So as near as I can tell, I think they start with, from the legs down, that part of the box is open, and it's covered from here up. And then she's like, so what do you think? Like, oh, well, that one, like, I like the size, and I like how the ball, like, what? This is a TV show? This is like a game show? What are we talking about? So I assume they start seeing more things. So then the host lady was like, oh, like, the guys want it to be warm because when it's cold, they're all shriveled up. It's like, but the women want it to be cold, so that, you know, their breasts and nipples are more presentable and perky or whatever. So obviously they're shown from like the neck down or something like that. And yeah, so I don't know what happens after that. As near as I can tell, they meet, and then I don't know, maybe they go out on a date, but it is based on that. Like, your initial naked attraction to this person is why you're going to go beyond this TV show, go beyond Thunderdome. I don't know. Like I said, she was just there, and then they would make fun of her, and that was, you know, that was the show. And then they talked about whatever they were actually talking about. But that's a show. That's a show. The other one, it probably is still on. I don't know. Like, I watch a lot of old episodes as well. Just let YouTube go ahead and pick, and YouTube doesn't care if it's from 2007 or from yesterday. So the other one is, yeah, it can't be on anymore. But I feel like the name is something as blatant as Sex Box. I think it might be just called like Sex Box, or maybe it's just called The Box. Whatever it is. It's Avocado Shakes is reacting with some monkey hiding its eyes, I think. What do we got going on here? Oh yeah. So Avocado Shakes just sent me a screen cap of the show, and it's like a lady standing across from a naked guy. She googled it. So yeah, like I said, the thing I saw was that. So the other one is called like, well, whatever I said, sex box or whatever. And in that one, two people go into this like room, into this box. The host kind of stands outside for a while. I believe there's an audience, perhaps, and then presumably those people are going to town inside the box. They do not go to town; they stay inside there, and then after they come out and they have a very frank and honest discussion about what just happened inside the box, and that's a show, and that, or at least was a show. Everything's a show. And whenever they talk about game shows, finding out that it's like, oh, like every single like TLC show and weird reality game show thing that that the States has, where you think, oh, this is great. Like I would never watch like the European version of this. Every single one of those is a European show that was just taken from there and then remade. Every single one of them. Uh, The Apprentice, all of them. Nothing. America has not had an idea in 15 years. The limelight in this one's so different. That'll do. That will do. Hey, what if we finished around the couch in all these frames? maybe we will. Oh. Oh no. Oh no. So you you can't see it on the screen, but there's a little rainbow wheel spinning because the program just froze, just crashing, and I know that if I Apple Alt Delete, it'll be like, hey, Flash is not responding, and I know that because this is like the 5th time it's done it today. And I didn't restart the computer. I meant that was what I meant. Yeah. You can say I told you so all day long, but yes, I meant to restart the computer before I did this. But odds are, I don't know. I'm sure I've been hitting Apple S. It's been saving. I wish I could zoom out. So I'm pretty sure I didn't lose too much. Oh, I forgot some eyebrows there. I might just have to re-clean some of it. But only one way to find out. Only one way to find out. I'll do a screen grab though of as much as I can grab here. Can you let me screen grab? Oh, that was. Let's just click over here for a minute. Apple Shift 4. Screen grab. Can't zoom out anymore. And then yeah. Oh, I hate this. Apple Option Escape. Apple Shift Escape. I can't remember. Oh, there it is. Not responding. Oh yeah, you can't see that. Sure. Yeah, you're sure. Force quit. Force quit. Reopen the file, please. I found an old version. Would you like me to recover it? I would. Oh, jeez. I'm hitting yes. Guess what? Didn't lose anything at all. 'Cause I hit Apple S so much that it's an OCD. 'Cause it saves for me all the snaps. Now I need to get the screen to recognize it again. What's this window? What's going on here? Alright, now if I just grab this, and go bink. Where'd it go? Okay, that wasn't the answer. Where did it go? Where's my screen gone? Where's my work area? Why did it disappear? It should not be affected like malaria. Like the... Am I crazy? Like I'm... That's the one thing I should have done, was turn it on and off again. Well, I know that it's saved. I just straight up can't find... Editor, duplicate window, library, brush, motion, actions, code, compiler, line, swatches, components, parameters, workspaces, classic. Well, I've only got 2 monitors going. This one, and that one up there. Now, I don't know where it went. It's like I didn't hide it. It's just gone. I just tried to drag it off the thing to the way it was. And then it just went away, but the frames are there. There's just no work area window. Window? Properties, yeah, it'd be all the properties. Align actions. I don't need to scene. There you are. There's something up here. Are you the scene? Apple 3. You can't be the scene, can you? Let's snap it back in. Okay, no. I'm thinking that's what it is. Acts of God, and he's just like, dog, you still doing this? You should stop. Play some pretzel. Don't worry. It makes you mental. View. Zoom. Magnification. Preview mode. Rulers. Grid. Guide. Snapping. Hide. Edges. Screen mode. Standard screen mode. Alright, I'm just gonna... I know that it was there, so I'm gonna hit save, I guess. That didn't do anything, it just gave me a donk. I'm gonna quit animate again. And I'll just open it. And I'll just open it again. See what happens. It was so close. It was so close. Alright, so there's the window. I can see it. I can see it. Everything's there. Everything's fine. Now I should be able to grab this window, separate it. Yep, stays where it is. Bang. And I move it to where I need it. Yes. Move this thing back. Everything's fine. Music's getting inspirational. Oh wait, did that just move? Yeah, there we go. There we go. Yes, who's back? Back on track. Draw some eyebrows. 'Cause he lacks. Excuse me, pretzel. I'll do this a cappella, if you don't mind. Alright, I just need to move this here, I guess. I don't know why this is weird. Anyway, close enough. Whoop, whoop. That's the sound of the police. Whoop, whoop. Ice cream, if you please. Eyebrows. Eyebrows. There we go. You've got eyebrows. You've got eyebrows and stripes. No, you don't have stripes here. Stripe. Stripe. And colored colors. Colored chameleon. Oh, I lost my bubbles. I lost my bubbles. And my audio. My audio? Nope. And the text that I changed. Overlap this a bit over here. This up here. Alright, save. And then make a bubble. Make some bubbles. Bloop, 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 bloop. Bloop, 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 bloop. How do you know who's talking if there's no word bubble to see? How can I corroborate what you are talking at me? Write down what you mean and hold it up in the air. Put it in a big bubble so I'll know if I have to care. CTK, what's up? I don't know why, but I totally thought that said avocado shakes. Why are you not sampling colors again? There we go. Speaking of comics, I also remembered that there was even more comics I haven't put out anywhere. I haven't gotten to look for them yet, so I don't know if they still exist, but I'm pretty sure they still exist. I back everything up 2 or 3 times. So yeah, if and when, not if, but when I do put this thing together into a book form, there's going to be plenty of unseen comics to put in it. Without having to go make a bunch of new ones. Save, save, save. There. Now it makes sense. Oh, I thought of something that I wanted to talk about. And avocado shakes and the Drake would be the perfect people to broach it with. What in the fun? I only watched a clip. I just watched a clip. I forgot it was a thing for a minute, and or that it would be out so soon. But it's already out apparently, and I am surprised. Surprised. I guess that's all I could say. I'm not pleasantly surprised, but for a while I've been hearing blah blah blah. Because all these R-rated superhero movies do so well, and we want to make an R-rated Harley Quinn movie or an R-rated Suicide Squad, blah blah blah. We're gonna do it. Like, we need to do something. Harley Quinn and swearing for sure. Like, alright, whatever. And it's like, okay, we're doing it. And it's gonna be animated. We're making an animated series like The Adventures of Harley Quinn, and it's like it's for adults, and swearing like dark. Like, okay. Probably pretty crazy and amazing. Like, I've watched some super amazing, dark, just great DC universe animated films or whatever. They're my favorite. They're always the best out of any of the animated superhero movies. And no matter what they are, dark with a little bit of swearing in them, still somewhat light and fun. They're usually pretty dark and crazy. But I was like, yeah, maybe they can pull this off. So I watched one clip. It was a good long enough clip where Aquaman shows up at, like, I don't know, the League of Justice, or probably like Penguin's place, where all of the bad guys, like just all of the bad guys, are just there from like the whole Justice League's rogues gallery, and he's there just specifically to, I think, just get some sort of fish-based thing from Harley. He's mad at her for something, but whatever it is, he shows up, and everything about it is 100%, I don't want to say comedy. It is 100% for laughs. Like, it's fully played for laughs. There's nothing in it that I could tell from at least the bit that I watched. There were some other clips I flipped through and it's like, yep, seems like the same. I don't care. Like, even the parts where you're trying to make it like dark and serious, just like this drawing style doesn't work. So it looks like the regular old Batman the Animated Series, Bruce Timm style Batman art, which is not a bad thing ever. Always great. But in this context, it makes it even more cartoony. So, okay. But then, all the jokes or all the interactions are like so, I'm going to say like Teen Titans Go type of comedy. Yeah, I'm going to stick with that. Like, it doesn't go quite so far into the anime big heads transforming into things, but it was just such baby comedy, like, I don't, maybe even more like Batman Brave and the Bold, where I'm like, I don't know how to take this show. Is it funny or is it serious? Like, it's bordering on like the 70s Batman show, but yet they're still doing it as like a regular thing. I don't know. So anyway, in the Harley Quinn animated show, it's like it's just like a regular animated Batman episode, except there's just a lot more dirty things jammed in there. I don't even want to say jokes. It's just meh. And then someone will say like a swear word, and and yeah, I don't know. Like, I'm sure, just like a lot of things, like, I don't know, it takes a lot to get into them. Maybe it's way funnier than I saw, but like from what I saw, I'm just like, this part is not funny, and if anything, it's just annoying. It was so annoying, everything about it, because it was like, well, there's all kinds of bad guys here, and they don't care. There's Aquaman, and he doesn't care. He knows he's a joke. It pushes the whole Aquaman's a joke thing, which is great, but I don't know. It's like, I guess I'd have to sit down and watch a whole episode, but I'm just like, they showed some parts where Harley is realizing, like, hey, the Joker isn't a good guy. He keeps trying to kill me. And I'm like, same thing. Like, I'm getting nothing from this. And then, oh, by the way, we're going to jam a little swear in there. Like, I don't know which is, it's either unnecessary for it to be this light, or the swearing is that unnecessary. It's just, second season will be awesome, maybe. I don't know. Again, ever since the Suicide Squad came out, I'm just like, well, that's the end of Harley Quinn as a character. She was really only great in in that version of the character, and now everything else since then is just like, what are you doing? What are you doing? But I don't know. Again, Suicide Squad was an awful movie. And most of it was just like, they're clearly trying to turn this into a Harley Quinn movie because nobody cares about any of these characters. The story is stupid, and we are just here to watch her and see if she's going to keep that accent up for more than 3 lines. No, she's not. And it looks like in that cartoon, same deal. I'm just like, I don't know who's doing this voice, but it's not the I can't remember who does the voice now. I think it's the Powerpuff Girls lady. But yeah, it's not that like New York, whatever, like Harley Quinn voice. It's this new thing that's just like, and I hate that new costume. Like, it's not a costume, it's just, Thanks, Restream.io. I just received 100 messages today with Restream chat, apparently. So, yeah, I guess you guys said 100 things. Maybe it was that one guy spamming 100 things worth of stuff. But either way, we made a comic. I wasn't impressed with the cartoon, but I guess, okay. Normally when this stuff happens, when I'm like, it's fine. It's fine. It's not for me. Like, there's a bunch of Ninja Turtle cartoons. I'm not going to watch them. They look awful to me. They're not for me. They're not my Ninja Turtles. They're just the Ninja Turtles. Go. Have fun with them. Kids still love it. That's what it's for. Make all your money and make more turtle stuff. It's great. The movies, okay. I can still have fun with them. There's some fun stuff, but they're still awful. And I mean, I don't think that today's children should watch the first Ninja Turtles movie if they're like under 9 or 10, honestly, because it is like, what is this movie about? This is wicked dark. So in this case, it is like, no, this cartoon actually is for me. Like, this cartoon is specifically for me. I grew up on the animated series. I like adult versions of these things, and it should be for me. But I don't know. I don't know my audience, and the entertainment world doesn't know me as an audience, and that's fine. You still find your things that are fantastic or not. Oh my God, Space Goaty. Oh, that looks great. Does it? Does it look great? One of these things doesn't belong here. One of these things is kind of the same, but one of these things just doesn't belong. Now it's time to play our game. It's time to play our game. Do. And again, if you're old enough and were raised on Sesame Street, you know what that's all about. But the other... Oh, I just lost it again. Yes. Stupid. It's stupid. I really love the fact that Drake put Drake's comment on the meme comic strip, which I thought was genius, but it's mean. But it is a little bit mean. If we go back a little ways, there we go. So I think we went over this before, but I took a few pictures right here. Grabbed the Milo puppet that I've got in a footstool in the bedroom, and I made this little judgment of memes. And then today, I'm like, oh, I feel bad about it. But then today, meme pops up. It's like, hey, I'm not even going to describe it. It's a guy, and he's like reacting, and he's like famous. So it's like, whatever the text says, hey, you're trying to do a thing, and then somebody sees you doing that thing, and you're like, and I'm like, okay. And then there's another one. Same picture, different text. Like, oh, you don't feel like doing your homework, but your mom catches you not doing your homework. and then another one that's just like same picture, different text, and then after a little while, my head starts, Sherlock Holmesing, Dr. Housing, like putting all this together, and I suddenly imagine this like chart of all the meme pictures that ever happened, and all the meme text, and how every meme text is on every meme picture, regardless, because they're not real anything. They're not real anything, and I, I kind of I wish I could hate them because every once in a while, oh, that's funny. That's funny stuff. That's like a comic strip, or a cleverly put together thing. But it's just a celebrity picture and then the text. But it is just the reusing of just like, has anybody made anything new in so long? And to prove the point that is no, is today's comic is definitely something that I've done before. I'm positive I've done this comic before with either these characters or similar characters. Um, And I guess I'll try and fix up all these typos. Oh, come on now. No, it doesn't fit. Okay, so we got that. Is that how you spell realize? With a Z or with an S? What do I care? Everybody else spells how cats talk with the Z's and backwards R's. A fine twist indeed. Totally didn't realize he was actually dead the whole time. How do you not know how The Sixth Sense ends? The Sixth who? Bruce Willis? Jonathan Silverman? Who? Have you not seen the Weekend at Bernie's movies? We just watched 1 and 2. I don't like that mouth for that. There we go. Now it's perfect. Hoy. Oh, jeez. And yeah, that's all the things that I have to complain about this week, I think. I didn't even say a thing. It's like you don't even have any time for me. Why am I on the screen at all? I don't know. I feel like when I do my voice and then I do your voice right away, they just sound the same. They just sound the same with like a little bit of. It's not different enough. But meanwhile, I'm over here shaking my mustache, shaking my mustache, shaking my mustache, all over the dance floor like I'm some sort of Tom Selleck hero. Amen. Anyway, this has been another live stream drawing time fun jamboree. I don't know. I feel like there were some other things that I was going to add to this that I might have done and I've forgotten. But always planning something, always working on some other things. And as always, follow the Instagram, go to the website. I'll update it soon enough. Excuse me. Excuse me. And yeah, every Tuesday. And like I said, every once in a while, I'll try my best to do some Mario making or just playing some Nintendo on stream. Still just trying to figure out how to make it stream better. I do have another machine over there that technically should make it run all better, but then I have to get used to another machine. And days are already so long, and I got a little couch that I'm gonna make. I'm trying to make a little couch over here. I mean, come on, come on. Anyway, have a good night, everybody. Get some sleep. Rest is always better than working too hard, and there's always something that comes up. Next week we'll control alt delete our way to another. Probably a comic. Maybe we'll do a dinosaur again. I don't know. See what I'm in the mood for. And yeah, next week I'll definitely show you the couch. Like I said, I'm probably gonna tear some of it apart and put it back together so it looks real good. And I will, of course, stop motion some characters on it as well. But yeah. Say two. Say two. Ripley, there you are. You wanna put? Oh, you busy? You reading something? Little article? Anyway, okay, yeah. You play the outro, please.